Hello, Steve here, Concierge Health Advisor. Ooh. Part of the medical myth series, now the exploring. You clicked on it. What am I going to talk about? Because you clicked on it, you know before me. Intermittent fasting. Yes, intermittent fasting. The perils of intermittent fasting. If you're intermittent fasting and still, like, there's this whole thing about the 12-12, the 16-8, or the 8-16, not eating for 16 hours and eating for 8 hours. And if you're still bunching in, or the 12-20, I've even heard of the 12-20, but anyway, like, it's just silly numbers. But if you're packing, let's take the 12-20, 4-20. I only eat in a 4-hour window. If those possibly 2 meals that you're eating in those in that 4-hour window is still the amount of calories that you would take in a normal 16 hours worth of eating, well, keto, Freudian slip, sorry, intermittent fasting, chuck it out the window. Intermittent fasting is code for eating less, and hope that whole 8-16, 12-20, and fasting 72 hours and eating for a day and this and that, and give your digestion time to relax and all that sort of ideas and thoughts. If you're over a week or a month still taking the same amount of calories and eating the same crappy food, if you're incorporating the best mix of the best mainstream diet out there is probably keto. If you're keto as part of intermittent fasting, and if you're still eating as much as you did before, well, intermittent fasting, chuck it out, okay? So intermittent fasting is all about reduced caloric intake. If you're still eating the same amount of food, you're out of the contest. It's the efficacy is, okay? So that's where intermittent fasting is at. It is code for hopefully you're going to eat less, but it's not about eating less in being healthy, being slimmer. The obesity epidemic is about being micronutrient deficient. The particular markers and the particular deficiencies that obese people have is chromium, vanadium, but that's just a marker. It's usually a signature that you're deficient in many other micronutrients, especially minerals. Yes, chromium, vanadium I mention often, but you might be deficient in cobalt, molybdenum, aluminium. Yes, it's a micronutrient. It's an essential mineral. Arsenic is an essential mineral. Trace amounts. Not going. Going through your mouth, not going in there. Like if you talk about aluminium and all that sort of thing. So going the natural route, those minerals are essential by the natural route. Okay, so anyway, aluminium, for some reason, is that essential? I don't know, but anyway, arsenic certainly is, and of course trace amounts, but and so the intermittent fasting people, you may have done it for 2 years, 5 years, or I don't know, 20 years, and you're doing fine. That's just luck. That is luck. It's not luck if you do understand the micronutrient complex, the 90 essential micronutrients that we require, the 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. If you understand that, then it's not luck. But if you're supposedly doing well and you're 60 and you've been intermittent fasting for 10 years, and come on, if you don't take on board the whole idea of micronutrients, well, it was luck, okay? And part of the luck, if you're not eating gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, then it's not luck. But it's complicated. But the whole what we what I advocate is the keto 44, which isn't intermittent fasting based, but we need to understand the micronutrients. So if you're intermittent fasting, fine, intermittent fast. If you have certain information that's or personal benefit that's really benefiting you, I doubt it, but even if it is, you better be understanding the micronutrients that we require. Otherwise, what's adding 2 years or 5 years to life expectancy in your capability, propensity? If you understand micronutrients, you could add 20 years, 50 years to your life if you understood those micronutrients. Okay, so that's some of the perils that you need to look out for. So intermittent fasting, quick nutshell summary, it's code for hopefully going to eat less, and you're not out of the woods if you don't understand the micronutrients. And as part of intermittent fasting, we need to, like I need to advocate here, the whole keto 44, but that first for the 44 is eliminating the gluten, wheat, barley, rye and oats, oils, which includes bottled oils, all bottled oils, burnt animal fat and fried food, sugars, which includes limiting the amount of fruit, and nitrates, and that's the whole processed meats complex, ham, pastrami, bacon, corned beef, spam. All the processed meats are heavy on the nitrates, which is the new carcinogen in town, and that's where the meat eaters get a bad rap, because there's a high correlation of meat eaters, and that's because they're probably eating a lot of ham and bacon, and especially if it's fried and well done. That will add to the bad statistics out there with cholesterol and earlier death and cardiovascular issues and lower life expectancy. And that's why perhaps vegans will probably get a better rap, but they're not out of the health woods either. So I've poo-pooed the vegan diet, paleo. Not really poo-pooed. They're not really hit pieces. They're just things to look out for. Okay, so I've discussed the vegans, paleo, carnivore, keto, and now intermittent fasting, the mainstream sort of diets. I've talked before in earlier videos about the Mediterranean diet and Okinawans, and I've advocated for what I advocate for, the Keto 44, the recent branding of, in my podcasts, I branded it before as the 44 with a twist of dairy and egg, and that was clumsy branding. But anyway, if you really want efficacy in being healthy, slim, pretty, and living longer, that's what I'm advocating. And if anyone has their particular fixation, gravitation to advocacy of certain health principles and diets and that sort of thing, I say let's compare notes in 30 years. I hope that happens, but until then, good luck in your approach, even if you poo-poo what I advocate. That's all for now. 9 minutes, that's a good one for me. Bye-bye.